All right, everybody. So the paint has dried on this layer. Oh, we got a little bit of silver on there. We'll have to figure out what to do with that. Oh, we might have to make some more rust there because that makes it show like it's shiny. Ooh, and in here too, kind of like where the car got hit. So let's look at this. See how there's a little shiny spot there? We might have to go back and put some rust down on that to make it look better. And I did it on this side too up here. I got a little bit on there. But that could make it interesting, right? Get the little shiny side. I got a little bit of shiny on this too. Well, I might have to play with that or just cover it over with the dirt. So now we're going to go ahead and do the dirts. So with that, I've got some dusty earth that I want to use, probably on the trucks. Some of this black splash mud, probably along the bottom. A little bit of grime. And then we're going to try this Rainmark wash. We're going to see how that works. It doesn't have any instructions on how to actually use it. Reproduces the effect of dust streaks caused by rain and humidity, accumulated in runnels and grooves. Just apply with a brush. So we're going to try that, and we might try some gray. So we're going to start on the blue car, even though we like the white car a little bit better, but I want to start on the blue car to see how this kind of does. So now the dust might be a little bit better. We're going to do the same sort of dots. A little bit heavier there. Let's see how this comes out. This is a really light dust. This is the streaking dust. So we're going to go back to one of our streaking brushes that we used yesterday. That seemed to work pretty good. Get some dust down in there. See, now the dust works a little bit better. Get some more dust in there. And again, we're going to go over this with some other things too. So don't worry about the light and all. We'll see what we can do. Put some heavier streaks in there. We're going to do the same with some of the... And then plus, don't forget, we still got to go over and do this. Dust is funnier because it can go anywhere, right? So this one, I'm kind of hitting it a little bit harder because it does seem to... It's a little bit lighter, so I might want to use a little bit less of the dust. Again, the cool thing about weathering is if you don't like it, just paint over it and start it again. So you can see here that I am actually applying the brush a lot harder this time. And it's okay to kind of sweep them a little bit backwards too, depending upon the way the train car runs a lot. So that lightened that up a little bit. You can see that the streaks are a little bit lighter now. It's not just the heavy rust. In the blue car, we weren't seeing the heavy rust anyway. So this kind of makes it a little bit better. Let's do some dots along this side. See how this works. take those out and then just kind of brush it on down. Yeah, the dust is really, I might have to do should have done the dust first, I think. Because that is much, much lighter than the rest of the tank car. But for this tank car, it looks pretty good because you can actually see some of it. Get some streaks down there. Like I said, I am kind of doing this part a little bit harder and kind of come over it afterwards and brush it sideways. That seems to be dulling it out a bit more, which is kind of nice. Again, do the same on this side over here. Dull this out. Bring this in like the train car was going this way. There's some dots up there. This is mostly all just blending, so just one thing that I'm liking about these Vallejo and MIGs, that they are they kind of are a lot more transparent, so you don't lose your reporting marks like with some of the other ones that I've seen. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of dust and dirt up here. I need a couple little dots. Let's put some dirt along here, along there. Whoops, that'll work a little bit. This one, we can make it a little bit dirty up there. The walkways, some dirt. See, now that nicely dulled down those walkways a bit. A little bit of that, brush that out. Now we could also, I guess, streak it from the front going back this way too. Which would make it look pretty nice. So let me go over here, kind of off of the ladder. We can streak it going back this way to show movement from the car. Both directions. It's not like they clean these cars very much. A little dust up in there. And then I guess one of the other things that we could do if we wanted to, let's see how this is going to look. We'll put a little bit of a streak down. I'll kind of go like this. Whoops. Lost our dots. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing there. All right, I got to put this down. It doesn't want to come back out by itself. Need better holders. Okay. Let's see how this goes. All right, so that should be the wind coming up, hitting that. Just a little bit. Oops, knock something else off. Another one of those stupid signs. Signs are really a pain in the neck on these things. Don't know how they get to stay on. There we go. Let's do a little bit that way. Bring it around. Okay, now we got some movement on it. Not that. That looks pretty cool. Sorry, that looks pretty cool. We got some streaks going the other way now. Makes sense, right? They're not all going to be just straight. Especially if we can take it off of the round here. So it's kind of like, you know, cars heading down the road. With a little bit of streaking. Oh, there we go. That's really nice up top. A little bit of mosaic there in the middle. It's going to be brushing back. Do a little bit of the same effect on the other side. Make some big dust up on the top. You just got to think about how, you know, what's happening with the train when it's moving, right? And you do probably have them in both directions because the train's going to be moving in both directions. So you see how we got it on the corner there. You just kind of bring it across. You get those nice streaks that way. A nice long streak along the top. Oops. And in some cases it would be a lot easier to do this if you didn't have the things in the way. Lots of rework on this. Okay. So there's some cross streaking with some dust. Oh, little dusty earth. My wife came in and had to have a conversation. And I'm in the middle of this, and I'm also destroying a bunch of stuff. Wow. It's amazing. You know, I don't care what you say. There's all kinds of different glues and stuff like that out there. Nothing holds when you hit it. I guess unless you let it sit for days on end. Okay, that's pretty muddy. Kind of liking that. Okay, I think we're gonna experiment a little bit with this green. Oops, look, the top's still on it. And this is the rain marks. I just wonder what this looks like. Wish you would have told me she was coming in so that I could have actually, I don't know, stopped the video for a second. Okay, so let's see. Oh, this is kind of really just a light. This one is truly just a wash. It looks like we could just do some rain. Just kind of feather it on there a little bit. Maybe take it down. No, that's kind of a brown. It comes in there with a brown. Let's just hit this a little bit, and let's get out one of our bigger blending brushes. Let's see if we can't. That doesn't look too bad. We've got so many repairs we got to do on this thing. Coming out of this. Don't quite understand. The bad thing is you don't want to do the weathering in parts and pieces, because if you do, then you're not going to be able to transfer the weathering marks over to your details very well. Let's get some of that down out of there. So this is where powders might work a little bit better. And we lost that one. That's looking kind of nice. Kind of like that. I like the dust on the wheelbarrows. I'm not going to worry about the inner wheels right now. I'm kind of good on that. Don't need any. And let's see what this little wash does for us. Oh, this actually even has just a gray vehicle wash. Our base, good. Maybe this will just be enough to tie it all in. Let's see how this goes. And it's just a general gray overwash, so. Let's see how this works. Take one of our other bigger blending brushes. Just kind of, oh, look at that. That kind of actually makes it look nice, doesn't it? Let me come over here. That actually is giving highlights to a lot of the markings that we already did. There's that one little drip. It gets some of the other stuff off. Kind of brightens it up a little bit in a way. We'll fix all that. Okay. Do the same over here. Now it's just 2 drops of gray. Now understand a lot of this was meant for like tanks and trucks and things like that. So I'm just doing this. I'm just making a light coat all the way across. I think it gives it a little bit of dull. Also accents some of those areas that we've been playing with. Just kind of spread it along in there. Off over there. Got a little thick over there. Spread that out. Okay. I want to do a little bit on the bottom. Probably should have done some, you know what? I think before we put this on the bottom, let's go ahead and splash up a little of this dirt down here. Oh, and another new one. Said some of these paints I haven't opened up before. Of course. Should have done this beforehand. Kind of that preparation thing that we talk about. So of course this one can't come off all in one shot. It's got to come off in little tiny shots. Okay, there we go. Oi. All right, this one, we're gonna go right down here on the bottom. Let's just go ahead and take a little bit of that. That's a lot of dirt. Wow. Kind of not bad with the really dirty mud. Take just a little bit more of this. I think I put it on too heavy on that side. Just kind of make that some kind of muddy on the bottom. Okay. Now, all I gotta do is put all the pieces back and then finish this off with a dull coat, right? And that should be pretty good. So, I'm gonna do the other one off camera and then we'll see what the results of that one are. So there we go. We're gonna let that kind of dry for a little bit and then I'll come back to the other one. All right, so I went to handheld because it's a little bit easier for me. So this is what I got. This is how my white car looks. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty crappy and grungy. Got the streaks coming off on the front and you can still see all of the markers, which is so cool. I like the fact that the markers are still all visible, that the paint just kind of washed on over it like it's supposed to. Yeah, I mean, there's some parts where it's probably a little bit cleaner than others. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm not sure if I like the bottom this much, but it's the bottom of the car. You don't get to see it very often. And I just did the trucks easily. I'm not doing the wheels because I'm probably going to replace those with metal wheels. So right now they're just the plastic ones. So of course now the big thing is it has to get dry so that we can just put a dull coat on it is all we're going to do. So we'll switch that out with the blue one. Here's the blue car. I'm going to call this one done as well. Got some dirt on the front there. And again, the nice thing is the paints are translucent enough and light enough that the markers are still fine. You can still read everything and all. Again, no graffitis coming on this one. A little bit lighter. I think the lighter dust and dirt helped this one a little bit more. Now that you can see the rust. And then we got the bottom of this car. The dirt came out a little bit better, I think. A little bit more streaky. So, there you have it. So the only thing that has to be done is we've got to replace some of the parts that fell off on the car as we were doing this because we got a little aggressive. And then put on a dull coat. I think those came out really nice. I like them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Looking at old tank cars and things like that. What do you think? I like how the blue one actually turned out, even though it's very subtle. You can definitely tell that it has problems. The white one is just, I really like how grungy that is. I think that came out really, really well. When you get up closer to it, you can still see the streaks and the rust and so forth. So, and I think I pretty much have gotten rid of those ugly bold lines in the tops of these trains. At least covered them up enough that nobody really cares anymore. Okay? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped you guys. And again, leave comments below on what you think. Maybe what I could do better. Maybe what could be done differently. Again, this is going to get a dull coat, but I don't know if you guys really care about that. I'll put that on after the conspicuously marks, but right now these have got to dry. Thanks for watching. This is Steve87 saying have a good day. We'll talk to you all later. Yeah, looks like it's been a really rough day in the train room today. Everybody's tired of the trains.